Hey everyone, thanks for wanting to check out my adventures as I survive in the PocketPixels server for 100 Minecraft days. This will be a 4-part Pixelmon series, with this video covering 25 days of my journey. I want to give a big thanks to PocketPixels themselves for partnering up with me to play on their server and make this series possible. Their server actually reset recently, and now is a great time to get involved. I highly recommend you all jump in and play as well, because it's completely free and I had a blast while playing on it. The IP for the server is play.pocketpixels.net, and all the info you'll need will be in the description down below. You'll need to have Minecraft Java Edition installed, and a full tutorial on how to join can be found at getpixelmon.com. It was really easy for me to get on the server and play because of the Technic Launcher pretty much doing all the work for me. Once again, information and instructions will be in the description down below. Once you're on the server, you can go ahead and also get a free welcome pack with free stuff for the server by going to shop.pocketpixels.net, link in the description. You can click on the Pixelmon tab once you're there, go to the featured items, and at the bottom, click on Server Welcome Pack to apply into your cart. Make sure to use code SIZZLE in the coupon redeem area to get it. Other than that though, this video series took such a long time to make, so if you like what you see, please think about subscribing to the channel and liking the video. It would be greatly appreciated. Alright, it's time to just jump right into the video now. Day 1. When I first spawned in on the server, I immediately noticed the graphic banners in the hub. They change weekly and showcase the server's current events, specials, and crates. I then dashed to the Pixelmon Blue branch of the server, right-clicked on it, and was greeted with a screen to select my starter Pokemon. I wanted a pseudo-legendary and decided on Beldum, and it turned out to be a shiny. Now officially in the Blue server, I found that using /RTP will be my main way to get out into the field and catch some pokes. My friend Waddle and I wanted to explore the spawn area more though, and we quickly saw all of the mystery crates that the server had available. The ones that I checked inside seemed to give a lot of cool Pokemon as potential drops, which made me excited to see what I would be able to spot on the server. From there, I checked my inventory and put on my running shoes, which gave me speed boost. Some other things of note in my inventory were a bunch of rare candies, some diamond items, a bunch of wood, various tiers of Pokeballs including one Master Ball, and a crate key. I'm gonna save the crate key opening for the end of the video though, and we'll see what we get together. We did /RTP, chose the Flower Forest biome, and got teleported to the beginning of our adventure. Right away, I was greeted by a ladybug in the sky, as well as some man-made structures in the area. You see, on this server, you can actually go into the wilderness and build in order to make your own little community. So that's 100% what one of my goals was. Whoever's watching this video and plans on joining the server, I definitely suggest trying to set out and find my house so you can join my little community. I'll get to the actual house stuff and the coordinates on where to find it a little later in the video though. I sent out my Beldum to bask in its grace and saw that its full name was Beldum the Chosen One. I then read the server's rules by doing /rules and immediately proceeded to try and take someone else's apricorns from someone's farm, but they were server protected, so their owner could be the only ones to pick them. I saw Chikorita in the area and knew that I needed to beef up my Beldum a bit, so I used the rare candies provided to me and kinda went a little crazy boosting him up to level 17 for some reason. By that point, Chikorita was already gone though, so I went into the wilderness and got some more apricorns. At night, I found a Zorua and had my first battle. All Beldum knew was Tackle, but Zorua didn't stand a chance against it. I won the match, ready for the next one. On day 2, I ran right into a Charmander. I just knew that I needed to catch it, even if I wasn't planning on using it for too long, so I challenged this fire type with my steel type. After weakening it a bit, I chucked a great ball at it and it was mine. Next, I ran into a Jangmo-o, and even though I knew this Pokemon's catch percentage is extremely low due to catching it in the actual games, I went for it anyways. I threw plenty of balls at it, but it just kept busting out over and over. I burned through so many of the balls that I had trying to catch this boy, but in the end, I just gave up on him and defeated him instead. I then tried to swim in lava, but nothing happened. At night, while chasing an Abra, I fell into a hole and needed to mine my way out. I then went back to throwing the ball at the Abra, and that thing just dipped. After that, I met up with Waddle, who suggested that we live underground, but I said that I didn't really want to. In this area, I found a Drifloon, and I tried to catch it, but completely failed when it proceeded to destroy my entire team. On day 3, I learned about daily quests and rewards by doing /dailies. I redeemed my day 1 reward and got even more rare candies. I then used a growth token that I got, and I guess it made my Beldum size gigantic? I'm honestly not too sure, but I kinda wanna believe that my boy is big and strong thanks to that thing. I then returned to the spawn and headed towards the Pokemon Center. While healing, I saw that I was lagging behind Waddle, who now had 5 different Pokemon. We then returned to the wilderness, but this time I found myself in an icy biome. Around it was also a strange building with a tree inside, but I couldn't get inside of it. In the ice area, I battled and caught a Swinub, and now with my third Pokemon added to my growing family, I was feeling good. On day 4, Waddle and I found Victory Road, which had famed trainers like Supreme Homer and Santa Claus. We made it to the first Elite Four area and found 4 Ultra Space portals clustered up in the area. Later on, while running around, I randomly got a bed. After not finding much in the area that I was at, I tried going to the ocean biome but quickly regretted it and went to the jungle instead. Waddle and I wanted to make a jungle house, but with evidence that another person's house was in the area, we decided against it. In the trees were a lot of Purloin and Mankey, which I wasn't too interested in, so we left the area. We returned to the cold and I tried to battle a Snorunt since Frostlass is one of my favorite Pokemon, but when I saw that it wasn't a female, I didn't really feel like getting it since I didn't really want a Glalie. On day 5, I found another Snorunt, but when I saw that it was a male, I ran away this time. From there, I decided that I wanted to find a place to settle down, so that became my main mission. On day 6, this search continued through the morning as it poured down rain. I was determined to find a spot to set up this channel's little community on the server. I really wanted a place where all of you who are watching could come and chill as well. That night, I spotted a Skarmory and thought about catching it, but went for a nearby Rookidee instead because I like its final evolution Corviknight more. On day 7, Abra was back to playing games. I chased it around the forest, chucking ball after ball at it, and it teleported away. The game was silly at first, but after making a nice long throw, it finally decided to stay in. I then found myself in a mesa biome where I spotted new faces like Ponyard and Bagon. My eyes were mostly on the Bagon obviously, but eventually my attention was grabbed by the Sizzlipede that was in the area. I mean, it has Sizzle in the name, so of course I needed it on my team. Unfortunately, Bagon despawned shortly after. However, not too far down the line, I found a shiny Spinarak and caught it right away. Luckily, this was a very easy catch. By night, I found a place for my house in the taiga biome that I /RTP'd to, and I began working on it. The flattening of the area continued into day 8. Eventually, this led to putting down the outline of my house and digging out the floor. This house making process ended up taking the rest of the day. On day 19, I found a Timber that I decided to battle. I tried using Sizzlipede to battle it, but a quad-effective rock throw really threw me for a loop. I decided that I'd catch this Pokemon as a replacement for one of my current party members. I soon saw a Rockruff as well, chucked the ball at it, and it was mine. Back at work at my house, I made some chests and put them down, which triggered an effect that now made this small area belong to me. I wondered if putting down other chests somewhere else would also have the same effect, but it didn't. After reading the grief protection book that was in my inventory when I first got onto the server, I found that my ticket to claiming stuff was the golden shovel that I also spawned with. Unfortunately, I was speed reading and I didn't really know what was going on, so I did a poor job at marking my territory. When I finished off my house on day 10, I showed off my coordinates for all those that are watching this video right now. That's right, I'm talking about you. You can use the coordinates on the screen to get to my house on the server. That's negative 3,851, 80, 737. From there, I really want you to consider making a house near mine so we can start up a little community. I got here by doing /RTP and going to the taiga biome, but whatever way you get to me, just know that I'll appreciate it greatly. Once again, that's negative 3,851 for the X, 80 for the Y, and 737 for the Z. When I was done showing off how to get to my place, I went around and collected some apricorns in the area. While out there, I spotted a giant bridge in the sky, which I made a mental note of to get back to. Then, I found a level 50 Piloswine and decided that I had to catch it. So I went for it and did just that. I also caught a Mareep, cause why not? Back at the Pokemon Center at spawn at day 11, I switched out my team for these strong pokes that I had caught. I then took this time to look at some of the things that this server promoted at the spawn, and they offered things like Wonder Trading, Donor Ranks, Poke Hunt, and Dailies, which I was already aware of. Oh, and you can't forget about Player Warps. On day 12, I realized that I lost my house because I'm dumb and I didn't set it as my home. On my journey back to it, I found a Rowlet, and when I tried to catch it, it said nah and left. I tried catching an Araquanid next, but he dipped too. Eventually, I found a nice little community tucked neatly into a small area I found. It made me really want for more people to move close to my house so we could have something similar going on. I did /RTP to try to teleport closer to my house, but it still wasn't very close. So, I kept going on foot in the direction of my house's coordinates. I ended up running into some nice pokes on the way like Seismitoad, Charjabug, and Crawdont, but my mind was on getting home, so I just kept going. My mission continued on day 13, but my one-track mindedness was broken by a shiny Sentret that I found. I got too excited and fell off some blocks that I was on, and when I got back up, the Sentret entered a tree and never came back out. I completely lost it. At night, my journey brought me back to the giant tree structure from before, but that really didn't help me much at this point. I rolled the /RTP dice again on day 14, and this time, the taiga biome still teleported me far away. Luckily, I found a Larvitar in the area I was transported to and captured it. That honestly made me feel a lot better. While swimming through the ocean on day 15, I found a Lapras and I knew it had to be mine. It was level 50, so I wondered how difficult it would be, but it wasn't too bad at all. After that, I finally did it. I found my house. Waddle came over shortly after, and the two of us celebrated by trying to figure out how to properly use the golden shovel. I found out that he could enter my house through one of the 2 doors, so that means that anyone else could as well. Waddle and I ended up reviewing the grief protection book on day 16, which led us to messaging one of the moderators on the server for help. The person I messaged quickly responded back on how to fix my issue, which was to do /abandon claim in the areas I had claimed with the golden shovel. While figuring this out, we found a shiny Teddiursa which needed to be caught. Afterwards, I did as instructed, abandoned all of my claims on my house, and proceeded to pick a singular area that would be protected as my area. On day 17, I found a Grubbin that had a weird fire effect around it. After catching it, I found that it was seemingly part of the Poke Hunt aspect of the server, which the chat said that it didn't really look like it was the right one. This is when I realized that the feature on the server was kind of like a scavenger hunt thing, I guess, which was kind of cool. I really did like all the variety and the different things that the server offered. I then set my home, so now all I had to do was use /home to teleport there from anywhere. We went back to the spawn on the next day and used Waddle's crate key on the rare crate, and it gave him a rare item called a gender token. I decided to hold on to mine because, like I said at the beginning, we're gonna use it at the very end of this video. I stayed in the spawn after this and saw that this server had gym leaders to challenge who were actual people on the server. They also had a battle tower where you could battle at any time. We then went to the Pokemart at spawn and looked around. Waddle decided that this would be a good spot to evolve some of our Pokemon, so I went home, got some rare candies, and evolved my Beldum into a Metang. Waddle and I then took turns evolving our stuff, and I soon had a Metagross while Waddle had a Grimmsnarl. Next, I evolved my Sizzlipede into a Centiskorch. On day 19, I used my new Centiskorch to catch my own Impidimp. I wanted to try out the battle tower for myself, so that's where I headed to next. After finding myself dominating the first 2 rounds quite easily, I then got to the 3rd round, and I saw that my team's lack of experience and the bare bones movesets that they had because I hadn't been working on them too much wasn't going to cut it against the Mimikyu who sweeps my entire team. On day 20, I tried to challenge a gym leader, who ended up being the same person who helped me with my house situation. Unfortunately, I don't know if I was doing the challenge thing correctly, because even though it said that I was part of the queue, it also said that I took too long and that the challenge was cancelled. From there, I thought that I should battle a few pokes to train up mine, so I spent the rest of the day doing that. Day 21 started off with a nice surprise. A level 50 Togekiss was in the area, and I really wanted to have it on my team. Anything to boost up my party's power, honestly. It took a few tries, but Togekiss joined the team not long after. Noting that I was running low on Pokeballs, I flattened an area near my house and decided that this would be my apricorn farm. Don't mind the hoe that I'm using. For some reason, I thought that I would need it to plant them, but eventually I learned that that wasn't the case. After planting all the colors that I had, I marked the area as well, and it now only belongs to me. The following day, I was already seeing some apricorn trees growing. Once again, I showed off my coordinates in case you all wanted to come join me on my adventure in this server by making a house close to mine, and then I labeled my own house just so that you truly know it is mine. From there, I went and found a nearby cave entrance and began to mine. I feel like I said mine a bunch of times in that little bit, but anyways, it was about time to get some minerals so I can craft some Pokemon-based items. My adventure in the cave actually led me down to an abandoned mine. I just said mine again. Oh my goodness. I went strip mining for 2 whole days while down in the depths of this land. That led me to discovering a bunch of minerals, including diamonds. I also found a Drudagon down there, and since it was level 50, I caught it. When I had my fill of my time down there, I then worked my way out. I returned home on day 25 and smelted up some of my gathered ores. Then, I went out and battled some Togedemārus in the area because they drop aluminum plates, which is something that I would definitely need for crafting Pokemon-based items like healers and PCs. Finally, the last thing that I did on day 25 was I caught a Noibat at night and made an anvil so I could use it to make Pokeballs in the future with my apricorns. Now it was time to finally see what was in the rare crate. When I went and opened up the rare crate for myself, I ended up landing on a fly token, which allows me to fly for 3 days. Normally I would show it off right now, but I'm going to be holding on to it because it could definitely come in clutch for the next 25 days. So if you want to see it being used, you're definitely going to want to stay tuned for the next installment of this series. These crate keys are actually limited edition keys that can be purchased on the store. Oh, and I completely forgot to mention this, but you can actually do /menu in the chat and it will allow you to see all of the many different things that this server has to offer. Some of the things that I've already pointed out, like the Poke Hunt and stuff like that, but you can see it all in its full glory right in front of you. I also encourage all of you to join their Discord server, which is on the screen right here. It'll also be in the description down below. It's just discord.gg/PocketPixels. And with that, our first 25 days are over. Thanks again to the PocketPixels server for sponsoring this series and making it possible. Once again, that's code SIZZLE at shop.pocketpixels.net to redeem a free server welcome pack to get stuff on the server. I really do encourage you all to join today and help me make a community on the server. It is a ton of fun and you're gonna have a blast. I also want to give a special thanks to my friend Waddlevania for helping me out in making this video. He's a buddy of mine and also a streamer, so if you could please go follow him on Twitch. He really deserves it. Other than that though, this video's over. Please like and subscribe if you want more of these, and I will see you later. Bye!